This is the show that has hosted everyone from Sugar Ray Leonard to Keith One-Time Thurman. This is Tough Talk Tonight, brought to you by Heavy Bag Boxing.
Hey everybody, welcome to another huge episode of Tough Talk Tuesday. As always, right now I'm your host, Robert Alexander. Alongside me we have El Capitan, Lucas Biggers, the First Lady, Shakura Armstrong. We have Jules on tonight, who is also a member of the Heavy Bag team, live from New York City. And then we have our guest host, Malachi. Malachi is from Danger Zone Boxing, a.k.a. he's the podcast king right now.
Jules, you can call him Slash, because he's editor / writer / commentator
whatever we need.
Okay, I thought Slash meant he slashed some tires or something, but that's good to know. All right.
So guys, let's talk about let's actually start this one out real quick on a real high note, because it's a very important weekend coming up for boxing, for all boxing heads out there. Without going into any predictions, any breakdowns, anything like that, I just want your reaction to this fight finally happening, finally coming up, and it being live on ESPN.
Look,
I'm talking about Teofimo Lopez.
Of course. I mean, look, everybody wants to see this. I mean, this is the reason Jules ain't been on the show in a while, but you know what? This fight's going to draw everybody out. I think everybody wants to talk it. Everybody wants to see it. Not only that, but it's going to be on ESPN. It's free. And it's going to be the best, well, on paper, this is the best fight of the year. By far.
Shakur, your opinion on your reaction? Don't break it down now.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I'm ready to see it now that we know they're going to do the whole card, on ESPN. None of this flipping around from different, app to this channel to this ESPN channel. Like, I'm just excited. So I'm eager to see this lightweight division. It's been shaping up for quite a while. Now it's been cooking in that pressure cooker, and we're trying to see who deserves the next big shot at lightweight titles. So these two guys have titles. It'll be a unification bout. Exciting. I mean, there's nothing else that you can say about it.
Malachi, let's go to you. Your reaction.
You already know I'm hyped up for this fight. I was hyped up for it when I thought it was going to be in September. I'm stoked to see it. I 100% agree with Lucas. This is the biggest fight of 2020, especially if we're not going to get Wilder Fury 3. So there's no bigger fight than this. And it's outside of the WBC regular strap, it's for everything.
So I
wouldn't be excited.
So I have to ask you, Malachi, you're a huge football fan. Does football get the second fiddle for you that night?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Well, you don't play anyway, so it's a blessing in disguise. But I would have watched, even if OU, and that's very rare. If OU was on, most of the time I'm choosing OU and I'll catch the replay. However, if OU was playing that night, I would absolutely have to catch the replay of OU the next day, because that's how big of a fight it is for me.
Jules, what's your reaction to the fight, man? I see you ready.
Listen, Rob, you see Lucas put me on like the brother who doesn't show up to work on time. So
No.
I can't wait. I can't wait for this fight. You know what I mean? Like Slash just said, this is the biggest fight if you're a hardcore boxing fan, or if you're just a casual fight fan of 2020. We already know Canelo's not going to fight this year, right? It's pretty much unanimous. We know Canelo, who is the moneymaker in boxing, is not going to fight this year. We have to accept that. So to have this, as Lucas just said, is free. You know what I mean? It's on ESPN. It's on ESPN Plus. So this is a big deal. It reminds me of this. I feel like I'm one of those boxing fans when they could see Larry Holmes and Roberto Duran on CBS, and it's an important lightweight fight. So I'm looking forward to it. As I said, Lucas put me on blast for a reason, because I had to get on this tonight to discuss my excitement.
All right. It looks like we have Hobby coming in. Don't know if he's ready yet. Don't know if he's ready yet. I'm saying there he is. Javier, right on time.
Munching.
There he is.
So look, Javi, no breakdown, no prediction yet, or anything like that. I just want to know your immediate reaction, your excitement on this fight this weekend.
Man, I said this since last week and the week before that. To me, this is straight boxing porn, right? This is like just the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what happens when good matchups are coming. Like, I was feeling the same way about this when Lomachenko was gonna fight Rigondeaux, right? Because it's like two Olympians, things have never been done before. You know, two Olympians going at it. The incredible breakers that they had as amateurs. But this one right here, this one is just special, man, because, you know, you have the young lion going in. He already proved that he can hang in there. What he did to Comey was enough to put him there. And then you have Loma the God. So I'm excited. And since the man, Bob Arum, right, put things on ESPN, and then they're making it not only free, but making sure that, you know, it's being promoted well. I'm with it. I'm excited.
All right, guys. So I wanted to start off on a high note. We're going to trickle in Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez throughout the show tonight. So I just wanted to go ahead and get all our reactions. I'll just let you know, man, I'm very excited for this fight. I'm excited for this fight for a bunch of different reasons. Some of them I will go into further detail later on, but we're going to go ahead and cap off the show with that. With that being said, we do have some other topics we need to go over right now. First and foremost, I'm going to hear your guys' reaction to Navarrete winning his fight this past Saturday. Shakira, I'm going to go to you first here, because Navarrete, actually, it was a closer fight than people anticipated.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to his opponent, because I was looking and I didn't think that it was going to be much of nothing. But, I mean, he did try to challenge him, and he did a great job at challenging him. And I can't believe that he's tough enough that he made it through all 12 rounds. Like, I was like, damn, this guy's still in this. Like, but I mean, Navarrete is just like, damn, he's like built like a truck or something. Like, I mean, it's just like a unstoppable force when he like got you as a target. So I started feeling a little bad for his opponent around, I don't know, maybe like the 6th or 7th round. I'm like, damn, he's taking a lot. But he was given some too. You know, he didn't make it easy for Navarrete by any means. So I was actually pleasantly surprised that we had, like, you know, a more competitive fight than I thought. So I would like to see him again.
You know, the crazy part is that Navarrete knocked him down twice in the fight.
Yeah.
And the score was so close, it was like he would have lost if he wouldn't have had them 2 knockouts. Or, well, I think actually they said it would have been like a majority draw decision if those 2 knockdowns didn't happen. So with that being said, Lucas, I mean, what about Navarrete? I mean, we've talked about him on the show time and time again. People have yet to crown him, but they still keep putting him on the shows, putting him on the publications like he's the next biggest thing to blow. What's your opinion on Navarrete?
I mean, I believe in him, but like we talked about in the past with pound for pound, I'm somebody that you have to kind of show it first. And, you know, I think he's still yet to prove himself. I still think he needs that step up. He needs to step up competition so that we can see what he's truly made of.
Malachi, what are your opinions on Navarrete?
I actually took Villa going into the fight. I'd watched him fight before. He's a very slick fighter, has a very high ring IQ, and I thought that he was going to actually beat Navarrete in the step up, because to me, Navarrete was somewhat of a weight bully in his previous weight class. He was always a bigger guy. I believe he's a very good fighter. But if you watched early on in that fight, his opponent was taking him to school at times, catching his punches on his guard, getting out of the way of punches, but just with subtle movements, steps to the side. These were the things that all of us that were on our show that Friday making our predictions saw that Villa did well and thought that he was going to win the fight. He didn't win the fight, but I thought up to the point that he got knocked down, he was winning the fight. And then after that, I think homie took over. I gave other dude a couple other rounds in between there. But I thought the scorecards were a lot closer than what they should have been. That was just my opinion.
Jules, what are your thoughts on Navarrete? Do you think that he needs to continue? You think he needs to continue getting these step ups, or do you think that he's ready for the big time?
You know what? I feel like this. I've been on Navarrete since he fought Dogbo. Fought him twice. I mean, got the unanimous decision when they first fought, and got a TKO the second fight. So I do feel that if they were to put Navarrete in a point where, you know, he's ready to challenge for bigger fights or a title, absolutely, I wouldn't be upset. I mean, right now he's 32 wins and like 1 loss, right? So I feel that he's at a point where you can say, all right, you know what, he can contend, you know what I mean, or you'd rather have bigger fights, you know what I mean? I mean, once again, he just won the vacant WBO featherweight title. So if he's one of those guys to like, listen, man, you know, I want to challenge the other people at featherweight, you know what I mean, the other champions at featherweight, why not? You know, he should. I had him winning the fight, and matter of fact, when he got that early knockdown with that uppercut against Villa, I said, there's a problem. You know what I mean? But kudos to Villa. You know, he fought back. As Malachi said, I think he showed really good tenacity and ring generalship. I think I always have a lot of respect for fighters who can get knocked down once or twice and keep fighting and then making it close. But, you know, I feel like the decision was right. It was a unanimous decision. Navarrete won, and I wouldn't mind him, you know, fighting other champions in the featherweight division.
Anything to add there, Javier?
Yeah, I mean, like Malachi said, Jules, like I've seen the kid before, you know, Showtime a few times, Showbox, I mean, and the kid can box. You know, he has a good amateur pedigree. He showed it in there definitely. Just like they were saying, kind of like, you know, Navarrete is a difficult guy to adjust to and get ready for, prepared to, like, you know, like that style it's just like it's not sweet times. I tell you that it's not sweet times, right? But it's effective for him, and he has power, because I think what threw Villa out of his game it would be the fact that, you know, that knockdown and feeling that power that he never saw. It took him a few rounds to adjust, but that power was a factor. There was a few times that he was hurt, right? And Navarrete said it, like, you know, he knows he has that power and he fights like that, but I feel like in the middle rounds, he kind of went to sleep a little bit. I don't know if it was stamina issue or toying with Villa. I don't know. But if he's going to step up to the big boys, his style, I don't think he's going to get better. But he definitely should work on his work rate through the middle rounds. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be a problem when he goes step in competition with the big guys.
Well, guys, surprise, I am not impressed. And here's why. Because of what Javi just said, right?
Typical Rob.
His power, here we go. His power is what got him through the fight. And that's what gives him the advantage on every opponent he has in this division. I need him to go up in weight. I need him to go up in weight and keep climbing
here we
up
go.
in weight.
Oh, man.
I need him to keep climbing.
You want everybody to go up and wait.
He just moved up. He just moved up.
And I need him to go higher.
Here's
Here's
my impression of Rob.
So when he goes too high and gets knocked out, what is he then? Like, oh, I told you, he wasn't that good. Exactly.
As soon as Navarrete gets knocked out by Fury, he fights Tyson Fury and gets knocked out. I told you he couldn't fight those heavyweights. You got to go up from featherweight to heavyweight to impress me.
Exactly.
Lomachenko could knock out Lopez this weekend, and you'd be like, no, that's not enough for me, man. You got to go up and wait. You got to go up and wait. I want to see him fight. I want to see him fight at junior middleweight.
Look, Navarrete, he's got the power. He needs to keep moving up there in weight, and then we'll see if he can hold his own. That's all I got to say.
Rob, to be honest with you, I think eventually he will, because his body's gonna grow. He's not gonna be able to make 126 anymore soon. So, and he's
right.
healthy. He's tall. I think he can do 130, 135, but I think that the whole reason why they put him on those lower weights is because his power at that weight and his height give him the advantage, plus the awkward style he has. But he definitely, I think, needs to work a little bit on stamina. But Villa was a live dog. You know what I'm saying? The whole reason why he also looked like kind of amateurish at times is because Villa made him look like that. He's a slick southpaw. You know what I'm saying? And the kid doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Happy, you just hit the nail on the head, because if you look at Navarreti's his record, everything when he's fighting early on at flyweight, super bantamweight is TKO, knockout, TKO. You know what I mean? He's stopping everybody that he's fighting. And even at featherweight, he's still keeping that power. But once again, Villa is a slick southpaw. Who wants to fight a slick southpaw nowadays? Especially freaking during the pandemic, when people probably started training, when they had a fight announced, right? So who obviously wants to fight a slick southpaw like that, and a slick southpaw who can box? So I think, once again, as Javi said, they're keeping them in lower weights because of that power.
Not only that, but, just let natural progression, let it happen.
There's nothing wrong with him staying in a low weight class as long as he continue to make the weight. I know people, they throw that out there, and I even said it a minute ago, weight bully. And they throw that out there. But if a fighter is elite and he can fight at an elite level, you know what the toll that puts on your body to cut weight, and you still be elite?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I agree with the whole weight bully thing to a certain extent. I think there should be a rehydration clause in every damn fight, but that's just me.
I agree 100% on that. And you know how I feel about weight bullies. And, my favorite weight bully is Hurd. So, I mean, it's still like you got to love the boxer. But, I mean, I would like to see him I hate to say, because that would mean I'm agreeing with Rob, but I would like to see him at a higher weight class. I mean, at least, super featherweight to lightweight, get up there in the mix with things and make it real competitive. And let's see how much, his awkward style is going to give some of these bigger guys problems with him,
Exactly. And all this started once again from me discrediting a lower weight class fighter. I love it. All right, moving on, guys, because some more housekeeping, housekeeping items we got to talk about here that's been in the news lately, and we kind of touched on it earlier. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. And I believe there was a tweet that Shakira pulled up earlier in the week there was a clip from Bob Arum that said there is nothing in the way of Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua next year, besides Tyson Fury loss in December. And as we all know right now, there isn't going to be a Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury this December. Lucas, is this more propaganda? Is this more BS? Is the fight going to happen? What's going on?
You never know. Never know in this day and age, but I'm going to say it. I trust Arum. Whatever he says, I'm going to lead towards. I mean, he's given us Lomachenko Lopez for free. I got no reason to doubt him. Now, a lot of people don't like Arum for whatever reason, say he was in the middle of a lot of fights, but you know what? Every historical fight for the last 100-some years, pretty much, Arum's been behind. So, no matter what he says, I'm going to take his word all the way.
Well, let me ask you the question, Shakira, though, because really what my...
He didn't get the answer he wanted, so he's going somewhere else.
What I felt like Bob was alluding towards that Wilder isn't in the way, but he might not even be in the picture right now.
I mean, it was confusing. I mean, it was a quite confusing tweet, if you ask me. Like, it started out by saying, nothing's in the way of AJ versus Fury, but a December loss from Fury. Oh, which could be, well, that's what I mean. He has to get through Deontay Wilder. That's how the tweet kind of went. Like, it was like, it was a lot to infer in that. So I don't know if he's saying, okay, the December fight with Wilder could happen, and that if he loses, then he won't be able to have the fight with AJ, which I honestly don't believe that. I really feel like whether he loses or wins, they're going to be trying to get an AJ versus Fury fight some kind of way, because that's a lot of money over there across the pond to make. So, I mean, it was hard to kind of decipher what the hell Aaron was really trying to say in that tweet, because it had so many twists and turns. Me personally, I think that you can't get around those contracts with those, those clauses that allow for, you to have rematches. So I don't know how, unless they paid Wilder step aside money, that is going to happen. Now, we all know that that's already been turned down once. Will it be turned down again? I don't think so. But there's always a possibility, because we see that, Wilder is making changes in his camp. So, how used to, I know Malik Scott is supposed to be now a trainer instead of Breland. And I don't know what effects that's going to have. Apparently, Scott has already been in his camp and worked with him before. So it might be an easier transition than we think. If everything with that camp goes okay, I don't see why there shouldn't be that December fight. And also, just a quick point that, Lomachenko versus Lopez. I mean, I kept thinking that fight was not going to be able to be made this year. So the fact that we're actually getting that fight this Saturday also could give us some type of insight into the fact that if Aaron is saying that it could be December, then it's more than likely it's going to be December.
Yeah,
well, let's see. We got Clarence says Blue Blood Sports TV interview Bob earlier today on his podcast. He made up every excuse for Fury. He never answered questions the way they should be answered. So, dodging stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and Malachi, that brings up a good point, because the way I feel with this new move without Breland, Deontay definitely wouldn't be ready this December for that fight. And it sounds like Tyson Fury is ready to go in December. Now, there was another tweet out there about Otto Wayland saying that he deserves another shot at Tyson Fury. So is that a possible step-in bout? Now, I know Lucas is shaking his head because he don't want to see it. But knowing the politics of boxing, is that a possible step-in bout for December for Fury?
I mean, it's a stay busy fight. But I can say I don't think it's going to do great numbers. Like, yeah, he was cut, but was he ever in any real danger? No. I mean, the only danger was really of the fight getting called because the ref, it was a bad enough cut that, it warranted a little bit of worry. But other than that, I don't really think, it's that watchable of a fight.
But do you think that Wallin deserves that rematch as he's claiming he does?
I mean, it was a close enough fight that it'll warrant it, but the fans, no. As far as like the money is concerned, no, he hasn't earned that again. So and who's he beaten? Who's he beaten to earn it? I mean, his fight with Fury was enough to earn it, but what has he done since then?
He did have a victory coming back on television on ESPN earlier this year. Of course,
but you can't name him.
It was against a no-name fighter.
That's the point. Boxing's always what you done lately, and you know that, and So no, he hadn't completely earned that.
So Javi, let me change the tune and ask you, Javier, then real quick. With Wilder, then what do we see with Wilder? Is he gonna fight this year, or is he gonna be put off till next year?
I haven't even heard nothing from that camp. Maybe, I don't know. I think he's going through some adjustment at camp, so he's probably gonna take the year off. Maybe not. I don't know if that's gonna help him though, because this is the years where fighters are to them they not that they age really quick, but no, boxing is a very unforgiving sport. So I don't think they should be wasting these prime years on maybe changing things and moving all around, because Tyson Fury is gonna fight, right? And he's gonna basically not get rusty. Now, you just got your first loss. If you add confusion on camp, if you add rustiness, I don't know how you expect to go back to like top level. Maybe he should take a fight, a tune-up fight, staying ready fight. So when things get back to whatever they need to get back to, they're both ready to go. So give himself a better chance.
All right, then, Jules, what is your take on the Malik Scott situation then? Since he has been in the camp before, do you think that's a good move on Wilder's part to actually switch from Breland to Malik Scott?
You know what, Rob? I'll tell you, I really don't know. The personal side of me is saying that him getting rid of Mark Breland was messed up. I think that getting rid of Mark Breland, the guy who really was there from day one and took a chance on him, you know what I mean, to help him become champion, I thought was messed up. I mean, is it a business decision? Does he feel that he learned all he can learn from, Mark Breland? Possibly. Who knows? But I think the reality is that with Mark Breland and without Mark Breland, I think it's a mental thing with Deontay Wilder. Listen, when you have been known as a knockout artist, a guy who's not known for his boxing, but a guy who's known for putting other fighters in a parallel universe, and you get knocked out, you're going to find everything in the world to blame it on someone else. Right now, you know what Deontay Wilder reminds me of? I know this is corny, but you remember Rocky III, Mr. T knocks out Sylvester Stallone, and, Sylvester Stallone finds out that he was fighting tomato cans, and you know what I mean? Like he can't get over it because he got dropped. And I feel that's what happened with Wilder. Wilder got knocked out by Fury, who's not really a big puncher. He's not known as one of the most devastating heavyweight punchers of all time. So I think right now they're just trying to find a way to switch it up and bring Wilder's confidence. So is it the right decision? We'll only know once he gets back in the fight game. That's when we'll know. If he's better, from a technical standpoint, that's when we'll know if it's better. I mean, right now, I couldn't tell you, Rob.
I think the question really is Malik Scott going to be a yes man or not? I know they're somewhat friends. Can Malik Scott be?
They have beef.
So
here's some social media beef at one point.
They did, but I think they squashed that.
Yeah, that's right.
But here's my issue: didn't Deontay Wilder beat Malik Scott?
Yes.
Why would you? Why? No, hold on. Why would you have a trainer in your camp that can't even beat you? That's my issue.
Yeah, a lot of fighters have trainers in their camp.
I mean that's
the
whole statement made my brain hurt. Look, man, I mean, it is what it is. Freddie Roach is not the best fighter in the world, but as a trainer, he's a good trainer. Those who can't teach, and it's that saying for a reason.
Yeah, but at the same time, Freddie Roach learned from probably the greatest trainer of all time, Eddie Futch. I don't know who Malik Scott learned from,
That's true.
But if you learn from Eddie Futch, he can train whoever he wants. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a difference on Freddie Roach's side.
Clarence says Wilder was just feeling some type of way about Mark stopping the fight. If you ask me, he saved Wilder's life. I mean, yeah, you heard him, don't stop the fight and telling him, but they stopped it anyway. I mean, come on, he saved him.
And I think his contract.
Sakura eyes, I seen him roll back.
I think that last Friday was the deadline. Like Bob had announced earlier, he didn't want to mess with college football. So they had planned to move the date, and then it was going to be in December. And then Deontay wasn't ready, and I believe they had until last Friday to come to terms with that, or that rematch clause is no longer valid. So we're not going to get that fight this year. And I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see Fury versus Joshua because I've already seen Fury beat, in my opinion, Wilder twice. I think he would beat him a third time.
Yeah.
So I'm very much more interested in Anthony Joshua versus Fury at this point.
Yeah, I'm at the same thing. I personally feel that you put AJ, I mean, that's a fight that people have been talking about for a couple of years now. You know what I mean? Until Fury and Wilder was made, then that got the back burner. But now that AJ got his belt back from, his belts back from Ruiz, you know what I mean? You put AJ and Fury in the UK, oh my God. That's going to be a massive fight. That'll be the UK's biggest fight, freaking of all time.
Right. So, guys, and let's turn all of our action now over to the main attraction right now, the fight going into this weekend. But I want to start you off, and I hope y'all did your homework that I asked you to do. But I want to start you off with one of the main attractions on the undercard, Edward Berlanga. Guys, he's a middleweight fighter with an amazing KO streak going on right now. Actually, that is his claim to fame. What are your thoughts on this fighter and this KO streak? Can he continue this weekend? Just so you know where we're at, I believe he is at 14-0 with 14 knockouts. We'll go ahead and start this off with Javier.
I think the kid is solid. Definitely, as the competition gets rougher, I'm not sure he's going to be able to get them out in the first round, but he does have some power, some fundamentals. So I'm not too into it yet because I would like to see how the kid handles himself when the competition gets a little stiffer. But that's a good exposure. You know, he has a hype behind it. He does have some skills, of course. So being in that card will bring him a lot of attention. He does what he's been doing.
Shakur, this kid is only 23 years old. To get this type of hype already at 23, have you seen it before?
Yes, and it's always a mistake usually. I do think that they're kind of like, pushing him forward a little fast. But at the same time, I do think he has a chance of winning. And I feel that he's earned that shot at Lomachenko, but it's still like, I still feel like they rushing him just a little bit too much, too fast.
Edward Berlanga, the middleweight.
I'm sorry, what?
You're cutting out there.
I couldn't hear you.
No, I said they were asking you about the kid.
I think he was saying that we were talking about Edgar Berlanga, Shakur.
I'm sorry. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, your hand was already in the clouds. That whole situation.
You said we're transitioning back to the fight of.
Let me clear it up again, Shakur. Let me start it off again. We're talking about Edgar Berlanga. He's 23 years old. He's had 14 knockouts, all within the first 3 minutes of the fight. Every single fight. So I don't know if you've seen this kid or not, but my question for you anyway is for any 23-year-old to be hyped this much, because he already has full articles on ESPN about him. He's already been featured on ESPN. At that young of an age, is that too big of hype for him?
Well, I mean, they're definitely pushing him. They're putting a lot of money, behind him. I call it the engine. So all he can do is just, whether it's right or wrong, or if he's ready or not, all he can do is try to fulfill what they want him to be, because he's being given an opportunity, Berlanga, that other fighters could only dream of getting at that age and to that degree. So, we won't know for sure whether or not he's earned that right until they've, stepped up his level of competition some more. So, I'm not going to count the kid out because of the fact that, it's just a matter of fact. A lot of times it's all mental. As Jules was talking about before with Wilder, it can be a mental situation where, like, are you ready to step into that fulfillment or are you not? You got some kids that choke under pressure. You got some that, they step into that light like a T.O. So, we just got to see if Berlanga is ready for all of this hype that he's being received. I like Elvis a lot, even though he's unproven. But why not? Give Berlanga a chance. They pushing him anyway, so he just gonna have to, hurry up and show us that money is in that engine is worth all of the hype that they've been putting behind them.
So I'm gonna go next because I put this topic in here for a reason. This is one of my favorite fighters right here. He is at super middleweight, and the kid has extreme power at 23. Now, where I compare him to Tank Gervonta Davis at a higher weight class. The kid has massive power, and he doesn't. It's not like he goes in there and he's trying to knock the guys out. He tries to let the knockout come to him. It just happens. He has that much power in him. You guys definitely need to see this kid. He's an attraction. He's a future star in the making, and he's going to show it to you again on Saturday night. The thing that you want to look for in this fight is not him winning, because he's going to win. You need to actually look to see if he can knock his opponent out again within the first 3 minutes. And if he does, we have something cooking majorly here in the sport.
I agree. I think he was either the co-main event or the main event in one of the ESPN bubble fights. Yeah, from the bubble not so long ago. If you guys can remember that.
He was a co-main event, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Maybe he was the main event. But...
Yeah, he smashed Boy out of there. Yeah. I agree with everybody. I gotta see more before I can start considering him among the Caleb Plants and the Benavidez's and the top dogs at 168, especially if Canelo decides to stay at 168. So I got to see a lot more of him. What I have seen of him is impressive, but we've seen guys do this before and then fizzle out once they fight someone real. And I'm not saying that's the case, but David Price is always like, because I was high, David Price was just destroying people. And then came the first L, and it was just like, oh my goodness. And then it was just completely downhill from there.
Listen, Malachi, you talk about being high on someone. I used to be a massive Jeff Lacy fanboy. Oh, my God. I was like, Jeff Lacy's the new Tyson. None of y'all can stand with Jeff Lacy. I was like, Joe Calzaghe better play at his funeral. You had no idea how much smack I was talking when Jeff Lacy was fighting. I thought he was the next big thing. And like I said, he had a good career. He became a champion. I'm not knocking his career. But, oh, my God, when he fought Jeff Calzaghe, I had to work the next day. And, man, I had to pull my 12 between my legs because I got so embarrassed. And once again, as you said, I'm not saying that's the case with Edgar. I like Edgar. He's young. I think, Rob, I know you didn't put on me yet, but I feel like right now that's a kid who has so much exposure, and the matchmakers are going to feed off that. They're going to match him very well. You know what I mean? They're going to give him style matchups that's going to be suited for him until he becomes, you know what I mean, up in the contender side. He's given me those, as you said, the Tank Davis vibes, and also when Curtis Stevens was coming up. A lot of people don't remember when Curtis Stevens was coming up, he was knocking out everybody. You know what I mean? So he was a monster, knocking out everybody, putting them in the dimension. And I feel like Berlanga also is in that category. He'll be matched very well, but as Malachi said, everybody else said, once we see him with true competition, then we'll really know how good he is. But I feel that that's going to be maybe 1 to 2 years away. I don't see that right now. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think Bob will be very careful with him because he's like a good-looking kid. So he's marketable. He speaks English. You know what I mean? So that's a moneymaker, and that's a money division that a lot of people. Caleb Plant's there, Benavidez, Canelo. That's the all-time money fight right now in boxing. He's the real red panties night.
Right.
McGregor.
I'll just echo myself from earlier. I mean, if Bob says he's the deal, he's backing him, so am I. It's worth checking out.
Hey, Jules, just to let you know, Jeff Lacy is being inducted into the Florida Hall of Fame, Boxing Hall of Fame.
You damn right. You damn right. He is to be. That's still my guy. Yeah. Oh, listen, if there's any British fans out there, you can talk smack to me. That's still my guy. Jeff Lacy was putting people to sleep,
Exactly. Like, you weren't completely wrong about him at all.
Yeah, Jeff left hook Lacy was the left hook until it got broken.
All right, Rob, we don't need all that tonight. All right? We don't need all that tonight,
I know.
I had to hear that 15 years ago.
Got me with Rob is I can't believe he compared him to Tank Davis. That's what shocked me. I can't believe you guys gonna let him get away with that.
We gonna see. We gonna see.
Let me.
Let me
like no.
Rob has a quota, okay? He has to mention Gervonta Davis at every show. He did it, so it's able to be moved on.
Let me go to Javi before we move on. What question you got, Javi?
I got a question for all of y'all since we on the topic, right, of Berlanga and this knockout artist coming up. The kid that just fought last week, man, that kid, I believe he has the power and potential to be the great, lightweight. My man, Elvis Rodriguez.
Oh, yes.
Elvis. I like Elvis.
I'm already sold on that kid. And I know he's still a little bit untested. I know it's still coming up, but when you see the potential there, you cannot help but to be like, damn, that kid got it. Plus, I have heard some stories about the gym, right? Things are not out there like that. Pitufo Diaz used to train over there in the wild card game with Alfredo Roach and everything. So I heard some stories that I'm like, that kid is the truth. That kid is the truth right now. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be a problem, a big problem.
Yeah, and he's young, right? He's only, 24, 25?
Yeah, I think he's like 24, 25, yeah.
Yeah, he's young. Southpaw, he's going to give people problems. That's going to be the issue, though, Javi. A dude like that who's a southpaw, the truth, it's going to be trouble getting him fights. That's always going to be a problem.
Yeah, but if you want my answer, what weight class is he?
Oh, here we go.
No, here we go.
I guess I'll ask you the question years from now when he comes up in weight, I guess.
Good idea, Javi.
Please.
So, all right, guys, let's get the big action of the night now. Let's get into it. The first, I do not want your pick, but I do want a few things from you. I want you to give me your keys to victory for Tio, and then your keys to victory for Lomo, and then go ahead and give me a breakdown on the fight. Just give me how you want to break it down. We don't have to start in any order, but I'm gonna come to El Capitan first. Lucas, go ahead.
Okay, so you want what am I doing now? You want keys to victory for both?
Keys to victory for both.
Oh man, if I'm Tio, I'm telling him to start early. Okay, I think for one thing, if Tio wins, it's probably gonna be by knockout. Lomachenko, you're telling him to play El Matador for most of the fight. I mean, basically avoid, especially early on. I mean, you can lose the first couple rounds if need be. You're focused on not getting dropped. and that's the bulk of it for me. Now you don't want a prediction yet? You want to see how it's going to go? You want me to tell you how I think it's going to go but not predict?
You know what? Just tell me. Yeah, go ahead with it all.
Give it all.
Give it all.
I mean, you got some contrasting things that's going to happen. I think, for one, Lomachenko definitely has him in experience, whereas and speed. But Lopez has him on power and just, overall brute strength. The question is not when, not if, but when he's able to actually land on Lomachenko. And I think you're going to see Loma hit the canvas once or twice. But it is going to be a very close fight, and I'm leaning towards Lomachenko's experience and being able to keep him at bay for the rest of the remainder of those at least 2 rounds that he got dropped in, and being able to win a very narrow split decision.
So you think it'll be Lomo by narrow split decision, Lucas? Huh?
A close fight.
And you think Lomo's gonna have to come off the canvas?
Definitely. If Jorge put him down, I think he's gonna have some problems with
That's
Tia.
a very interesting take. I like it. Shakira, let's go ahead. Give us your takeaway, your keys to victory first.
I did like the part where Lucas was comparing it by saying that Lomo will have to be like, the matador in this situation, because I do feel like his superior skills will be on display. Will he be able to be perfect in an entire 12 rounds is what it comes down to me, because we all know that the type of power that Tio has, if it's unleashed the proper way, Lomo will not be getting up from that. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Linares doing a little quick, check hook on him and he popping right back up. I don't feel like that's the scenario. I feel that if he does get caught by Tio, then it's not gonna be a situation where he'll be, popping, it'll just be considered a knockdown. So, with that being said, I don't think that it's likely that someone can be perfect for 12 rounds, plus also gain all the rounds at, as win for each round. So I'm gonna have to go with Tio, guys. I'm going on a limb and I'm picking Tio. And the reason why is because I feel that Lomo will not be able to avoid him for all 12 rounds. And all it's going to take is for him to have the leverage and the right power and speed one time. And he's going to be bye-bye. So I go with youth and I go with power tonight over skill and quickness.
So are you looking at knockout, Shakir? How's he
Yeah,
gonna
I am looking for a knockout. I do think that that's what happens. I'm pretty sure that that's what is in Tio's strategy. I'm sure him and his father feel like, if they can just work on spots and how to, like, when he pops in, one of his infamous, how he likes to go in and out at different angles. If they can time that correctly, I think they're going to be ready.
Okay, I respect your opinion. We're gonna go down the line here. I'm gonna go with Javier first. Javi, give us your keys to victory, and then just go ahead and go right into your breakdown and predictions.
My keys to victory for Lopez, it will be to apply smart pressure, come forward, make Loma uncomfortable, do some Salido in there, do some Pedraza, mix a little bit of what it has been working for the few times that it's been worked against Lomachenko when he fought these other fighters, and be smart. I know it's gonna be hard to be against the God in there, but you gotta be smart. You gotta be in your A game.
We know the guy was gonna come out. We knew that was gonna come out.
Our Lord and Savior, right? Happy's Lord and Savior.
What can I say? I've never seen a man be so fluid and so just flawless in the ring. So that's why I think in the ring, Loma the God. So
Happy, did Lomachenko die for our sins? Did he
die for our boxing sins?
So I think, but like I said, I think it's gonna be that. But Lopez should have a B and C game plan if case don't go his way, which they're not in the first with game plan 8 basically. His victory for Lomachenko, he also has to be very, very, very smart in there. He has to give the kid respect. I know there's been a lot of trash talk between each other, trying to downplay each other skills and achievements. But at the end of the day, Lopez is a live dog in there. He has a very good chance, and he definitely has to be careful of the power. Because I agree with Sakura. If our right connects in there, it won't be no what's the kid? Jorge
Linares.
Linares.
If that connects the way that Linares connect, Lopez is gonna cause way more damage, and Lomachenko is not gonna be able to recover in faster way. He's gonna make him look human, basically, like Linares did. But Lomachenko has some angles. I think the beautiful thing about this boxing is that we haven't seen yet Lomachenko's 85%, 90%. I think we only seen up to 80%. So this kid is gonna break Lomachenko's 85, 95, maybe the whole 100% of Lomachenko. We're gonna see the full potential. Because sometimes you need that dance partners that are gonna get the best out of you. And they both gonna bring the best out of each other. But I think Loma the God is gonna bless him, he's gonna baptize him, and they're both gonna come out way better than each other. But I think Loma's not blessed with power, so it's gonna be a technical fight, that is gonna turn into a take these notes. Take these notes with you. And you're a good fighter. You'll be back. You'll do what you have to do. Just you know what I'm saying? Get your notebooks out. We're going to school. We're going to school. And that will be the decision for Lomachenko.
All right, we do
So
have some comments here. I'm sorry, Rob. Robert Purvis says Lomo feet hand game is superior, but I think Lopez power and youth will give him problems. Okay, Robert. Clarence says he agrees. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Javi, I already had you written down for Lomo. I was just trying to wait to see by what.
Decision.
All right, Malachi, you're up next, sir, on the list for me here. Let's go ahead and start with your keys to victory for each, and then your breakdown predictions.
Timing is for both of them.
Yeah.
Loma's going to have perfect timing, as Shakur said, when he does move in to those angles, especially when he tries to come in from the side. And the one time that his timing wasn't perfect, Jorge caught him coming in and dropped him. And as everyone here stated, if that happens in this fight, he's not getting up. If he does get up, it's going to end the same way the Comey fight did, with Lopez, bombing him out of there and the ref having to step in. For Lomachenko, I think the key is, can he hurt Teofimo enough with his punches? He's not a big puncher. He's a guy that makes you either quit mentally or, he got that body shot off on Jorge in the last fight. He beats you up with the accumulation of punches. Predominantly, most of the fighters that have lost to Lomachenko have already came into the fight beat. Tony Corolla might as well have just stayed in bed. There was no point in getting into the ring that night because he was beat. Luke Campbell, I think he was just happy, like, oh, I gave a great performance against Lomachenko.
Right.
None of these other guys are coming into this fight with the same mentality that Teofimo is going to come into this fight with. He's coming into this fight truly believing, I'm going to beat the hell out of this guy for everything he said, and I'm going to prove to the world that it's my time, the takeover is real. When is the last time you heard Lomachenko talk the way that Lomachenko's been talking leading up to this? I don't ever recall Lomachenko ever talking like he's talking. That tells me a little something, that these guys have gotten under his skin with all this talk. And he really wants to go out there and prove, I'm going to punish. If he's heard what his words, I'm going to teach him a lesson. I'm going to punish him. I'm going to do this and that. I'm going to make him feel pain. That could get him in trouble with this kid, because he's going to need to be on his A game with his ability to stay out of the way and stay defensively responsible, because this kid he's stupid athletic. He's got incredible quick twitch muscles. He hits like a horse, and he's young. He don't like Lomachenko, and he really believes he can win. This is nothing. And Loma's fought a lot of people, and you can say, well, he's already faced a guy like Teofimo in all the amateur fights, or at the WBC, the World Series of Boxing. He's already fought someone like him before. But I don't know if really he has, because this kid really don't like him. He really believes it's his time, and he's like, I had Kelly Pavlik on my show real fast. I'll say this. He said this kid's about as close as you can get to the total package as there is. And he told me I wasn't crazy for taking Teofimo. Everybody here knows I'm taking Teofimo, except for Jules, because he just joined with me tonight. I'm taking Teofimo. Teofimo's going to knock this kid out.
Oh, man, not just a knockout, too, huh?
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy. Like you said, though, a hyper-focused Loma, probably more of a bad thing for Teo, I would think.
I don't know if he's hyper-focused. I think he's a little bit emotional.
Loma, emotional? He's Russian.
Have you seen the way he's been talking? When did he ever... I agree with
emotional?
You, when has he ever started talking trash like this? To this level?
So just a little bit here. He's Ukrainian, not Russian. They don't like to be called Russian.
My bad.
Apparently. Jules, let's go ahead. Your keys for both and your breakdown.
All right. So my keys for victory for Teofimo is going to be put pressure, Don't allow Lomachenko to get set because we know Lomachenko likes to move a lot. Put a lot of pressure on Lomachenko. Allow Lomachenko to fight on the back feet. Don't give him any space. Cut off that ring. We all know Lomachenko likes to use angles. Definitely cut off that ring. Value, throw lots of punches. You know what I mean? We all see that, as Malachi said, everybody said on here, Lomachenko likes to wear you down with his value. He makes people quit. But he makes people quit not just from his boxing ability, but he makes people quit because he throws a lot of damn punches. You know what I mean? He's in phenomenal shape. So Lopez has to definitely have some volume up. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think that he should definitely work off the jab and also work off the hook as well. Because as we know that with Lomachenko, what side does he like to, when he throws his combos, what side does he like to angle off of? His dominant foot side, which is his right side because he's in southpaw, right? So if Lomachenko is throwing some combos at Teofimo and he steps up to the right side, if Lopez can cut off that ring, hit him with that nice little right hand left hook and get him in the corner, he might have a shot. So, and lastly, the mental fortitude. He's got to get out of his head that this guy has more experience than him. He's got to get off his head that, Lomachenko has fought big punchers before, because we know he has. We know he's fought a guy like Nicholas Walters, right, who was a big puncher. Remember when everybody was on Walters, and we saw what happened to Walters. In terms of very skilled boxers, he fought Ringendow. So we know that he has that experience against very good punchers and also very good boxers. So if he gets that out of his head, and as Malachi said, come to punish him and give him no respect, he can do his thing. In terms of Lomachenko needs to be Lomachenko. Like, that's really about it. Use those angles, that value that he has in really, really good shape. We all know mentally he's tough, and I think that that's one of the things that we keep forgetting about fighters. It's something from a fighter to be able to get back up and to make that guy quit like he did with Linares. That's mental toughness. You know what I'm saying? So we know that Lomachenko is going to have that. So all he has to do is just be him. You know what I mean? Definitely watch out for the hook in the right hand, because I'm sure that the father and the son looked at that as well in terms of his movement. And definitely have as much volume as you can. In terms of prediction, I am going with the boxing route, and I'm going to say we're going to get a controversial split draw so we can get Lopez versus Lomachenko 2 on that undercard of Fury versus Joshua next year. So I'm going with the controversial split draw.
See, I got this nice, pretty graphic of Loma on one side, Tio on the other, and now I got your name in the middle, my friend.
Lucas, Lucas, I don't show up on time for Tough Talk. You know I'm gonna mess up the whole thing. Why do you have a brother like me on here? You know that.
Hey, Jules, now you brought up a good point, especially about cutting off the ring, because I believe, and I think most of you will also agree, that Lomachenko has some of the best feet in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Can he cut off the ring? Anybody. I mean, answer. I don't care. Anybody.
Oh, you saying can Tio
cut him off?
Yeah, I think it's possible. He's very athletic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tio's very athletic.
He'll be there 1 minute and he's over there the next. It's very athletic. So yeah, I do feel
There's a lot of athletic fighters that Lomachenko's already fought. I don't know if anybody could really cut off the ring on him. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt. No worries. Let's be honest. I feel like Lomachenko is getting a lot of hubris as he's going up in weight. He's standing in front of guys toe-to-toe a lot. That's what he did against Linares, and that's how he got caught. You know what I mean? I feel like Lomachenko now is saying, you know what, I can stand toe-to-toe with the best of them. I don't know if he's going to do that against Lopez, but he's trying to prove that, you know what, I just don't run anymore. I don't know if it's age or if his legs are slowing down, but he's definitely shown that he's willing to stand toe-to-toe. If he does stand toe-to-toe with Lopez, that might be in his advantage. That might actually be where he gets, Lomachenko to back up.
I was going to say that the only way that I see Lomo actually winning this fight is if it is like a unicorn type situation where he does the opposite, type of strategy that he usually has. So, like Jules is saying, stand there in the pocket, or, instead of going in and out with movements, maybe he's the aggressor. It's just the point of does he really feel that he would be able to withstand one of those huge shots from Tio to do that? But I mean, the only possibility I see that Lomo could win is if he does do something out of his normal skill set. If he becomes somebody else, that a different strategy that we haven't seen from him, because of the fact that if he goes in and out like he usually does, it's a recipe for, you know, an upset, because I believe that Tio and his training team have like trained and watched plenty of video and know just what Jules said, which is that he likes to lean to the right when he's digging in, you know, for a body punch or, you know, trying to let off a combination.
Hey,
So I mean, he got to do something different.
I'm with you, Sakura, on the whole, you know, watching tape and all that. And, you know, he is athletic. He can do these things. The question is he able to? You forget Marquez and Pacquiao. Marquez has trained that punch for how many fights before he landed it? I mean, and he was getting beat up in that fight, too.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that, because that's the very fight that I was thinking in my head. If I was in Tio's camp, I would tell them to watch that video, because Pacquiao was doing the same similar thing where he's going in and coming out on angles and he gets busted jumping in.
But
but the thing,
he don't have that many rounds of experience like Marquez has with Pacquiao.
and also, as much as we love Pacquiao, and Pacquiao is a legend, Lomachenko has way better footwork rather technical aptitude than Pacquiao is. I'm not saying that was a lucky punch.
Yeah, far
but
superior
Pacquiao
footwork.
loves to lunge in. He loves to lunge in when he's throwing it. And Marquez said, "Nope, sorry, good night. You're not lunging in this time."
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's basically like, you know, Lomachenko's less predictable than Pacquiao.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, good. There you go. I'll agree with that.
More than 4, you know, it took him 4 fights to make that, you know, perfect punch come to life. Tio won't have that on his side, like, you know, hours in with Lomo, but he can take some serious, you know, some serious little tips and skills from what that was in that fight, because I can see Lomo coming in from an angle just like Pacquiao was, and boom, there's that.
Yeah.
I want to say
I'm interested.
that punch.
I'm interested too to see how Lomachenko comes out early in the fight, because as Jules said, he has been standing in front of guys more, and we've seen him start to get hit a lot more, especially since the Pedraza fight. Tony Corolla didn't hit him at all; he just did whatever. But Luke Campbell and Pedraza had some luck against him and landed some nice punches. So I am interested to see that, because it's going to tell me whether or not they've gotten his head. You know, Junior was on my show and told me before the Comey fight that Lomachenko actually went into Comey's locker room and was taking pictures with him and telling him how he was going to knock out Tio, that Tio wasn't anything. And then after the fight, he started telling everybody it was a lucky punch. I really wonder if they've gotten into his head, and I want to see if he's going to stand in front of him early on in the fight. And if he does, I think he's going to wish he didn't.
I'm with you, Malachi. If he's getting into his head and Lomachenko is being out of character, that's going to be a problem. Yeah, I might actually change my prediction. But that's going to be a problem.
Come on, guys. Now, you really think, like, Lomachenko's just going to stand in front of him? I mean, he can stand in front of a guy like Luke Campbell and get away with it, but you actually think he's going to stand in front of Tio? I mean, just as the same as, you know, them watching film on Lomachenko, you got to think that is not the best strategy to go about it. In fact, that's the worst way to go about this fight. I mean, and, you know, we're in the game, but we're not as far as this training team. Come on now. I mean, even a blind man can see you don't stand in front of Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, let me
Rob, you're the last one. You got to even out the graphic a little bit.
Let me forgive all of y'all for forgetting the host real quick.
It got heated, you know.
It got heated, but it's gonna okay. Let me just start you out with my keys to victory here, because I actually studied this one. As far as Teofimo goes, keys to victory. For one, I think you need to be prepared to possibly fight off the ropes. I think with that movement and everything Lomachenko is going to apply, with the pressure he's going to apply, with the angles that he's going to apply to you, I can see Tio backing up, and he's going to need to be prepared for that, and he's going to need to be prepared to try to fight off the ropes. Otherwise, he's going to be in trouble. I think he needs to use controlled aggression because Lomachenko has yet to be frustrated, except for the Salido fight. Yes, I always judge him by that, but that is true. Once you frustrate him, we've seen what happens, and it leads to a loss. So he's going to have to use controlled aggression in this fight to frustrate him. And then the most important thing with Tio, do not panic. Do not panic. You're going to be in trouble in this fight, and when you are, you're going to need to strategize. You're going to need to adapt, but do not panic. Always believe in yourself. That's the biggest weapon he has is his confidence. Keep that throughout the fight. For Lomachenko, I think Lomachenko's going to have to wear him down. Tio's the younger fighter in this one. Tio's the fresher fighter in this one. You got to be able to wear this kid down. Otherwise, he's going to build on that confidence. With that being said, you need to take him into deeper waters because he's had a young career and he hasn't been that many rounds, especially in a championship fight in those championship rounds. So you need to go ahead and test him there and take him into those deep waters. And then if you're Lomachenko, you need to kill that confidence early. Hurt him early. You need to kill that confidence right out the gate. Try to hurt him early to make him feel that power, because I believe if you do, he might cinch and back down a little, and that'll give you your shot.
Oh, boy.
With that being said, this is the main event, because y'all know I'm very opinionated, and I'm very opinionated in my opinions. I've just made that up tonight.
Opinionated in my opinions.
Get to the predictions. Oh,
I just made it up tonight.
I'm very Man, if that's not redundancy, I don't know what is.
It's like a narcissist.
Yeah.
So listen.
The winner of this fight, Rob Alexander, by knockout.
Rob said so.
Rob be like, I made good points for both people, so no matter who wins, I'm right.
I'm gonna say I won no matter which way, because I said both key points.
Okay, listen. I'm very surprised that all of you pretty much, you guys are pretty much calling it like, not really dead even fight, but it's split here, and it's also split, but there's really a split decision for Lomo. A unanimous decision for Lomo. I have Lomo by TKO. TKO. Teofimo does not stand a chance in this fight. It's a TKO, and I'm calling it round 10. He gets his ass wore off Saturday night.
Well, we got Clarence who said, Lucas, be careful, you lost the last pick, pick the right side. I said, haha, Loma has this. And then he went, come on, Rob, pick the right side. Knock it off, Rob. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. We got 3 now for Loma. Jules says draw. Malachi and Sakura got Teofimo.
God, I can't believe it. I mean, really, Rob, you're finna go for Lomo? The guy that you've argued for the last 2 years is not up to snuff. And
you know why? Because Rob wants Tank Davis to be the one to beat Loma. That's why. We all know his agenda. He wants Tank Davis to be the one that beats Lomachenko so he can be on this show and say, I told you so, since 2016.
Look,
you might have a point, Jules. You might have a point.
Look, I'm for anybody beating Lomo. I'm for anybody who can beat Lomachenko. Tio's not the guy. He's not the guy. from what I've seen of Teofimo Lopez, it's like he's an overnight sensation. Now that's being harsh, Malachi. Yes, it is being harsh. I understand this.
Whoa.
But it is. But I understand this. But who has he fought other than Comey? Other than that, who have we seen him fight to build up to him being able to beat Lomachenko?
I have a friend who compared it to Vargas versus Trinidad. Remember Vargas versus Trinidad? When Vargas had so much hype behind him, and then he fought Trinidad, and then it was a good fight back and forth. And then once that fight finished, everybody kept saying that Vargas was pushed too early. And I have a friend who said that. He said, this reminds me of Vargas Trinidad.
The difference, I think, is Trinidad had true destroy you power.
Yeah, that's very true. That's what I said.
I mean, my thing is, I do feel that they've moved Tio a little fast, but I don't think that excludes him from being able to land something big on Lomo. So, to both can be true, I'm saying.
I fully expect, like we were talking about earlier with Lomachenko's feet, I expect him to be on it. And like I said, I have to be the Matador. Because really, I mean, like we were saying, it's kind of blatant that that's what he needs to do is outbox Teofimo. But not only that, I expect better footwork than what we've seen. I mean, you're going to have to rewind to like Rocky. I think he's going to constantly turn Teofimo, not be able to plant his feet, take away his power. I mean, take away Teofimo's power, and I mean, it'll be an easy win for Lomachenko if he can do it.
Go ahead.
I want to interrupt here if we have some time because listen, as much as boxing knowledge I talk, I'm just the guy who had barbecued wings from Papa John's. So and Javi's the one who's in the gym. So Javi, I want to ask you in terms of the footwork, right? As you're always in the gym. You're boxing. In terms of the footwork, is there a way for Teofimo Lopez to stop that footwork of Lomachenko? When he's always throwing those combos and then he goes into angles and he's throwing combos. Do you think there's a way for him to stop that?
Yeah, I think definitely there is. Kind of like what Pedraza did. Not commit too much and kind of like throw him off his game. And because the thing is, if Teofimo swings hard, right? When you swing hard, you get out of balance. Right. So that's when Lomachenko frustrates you and makes you look bad, and he starts pivoting to the right, to the left, and next thing you know, he's all over the place, not in front of you. But the way that Pedraza did it was he was punching, and it wasn't really hard punches, just keeping your balance, moving your head, being smart, defensively or offensively. I think that will make Lomachenko think twice before moving around just that comfortable in there. So that's the way. I mean, like that's why I said I think he needs that smart pressure to be there, and maybe some dirty tactics like stepping in his feet, kind of like Shakur but going on.
Yeah, get it.
But Pedraza is used to that. That's something Pedraza does practically every fight. This is Teofimo, who's never had to do this before. Right. And can he pull it off in one fight? I mean, this is a whole new thing he has to go through, and it's a lot, especially with a guy like Lomachenko.
But look, you haven't seen him using a lot of footwork lately, and I don't know because Lomo himself says he doesn't really like the weight in 135. I'm sure he does.
Exactly, because it wasn't like Linares had to pressure Lomachenko to get that knockdown. That knockdown was at the middle of the ring. Even me, I was like, oh snap, when he got knocked down. The issue is, to piggyback off Rob, is, and once again, it's funny you guys mentioned the Salido fight because I watched that fight. What happened with that fight was Lomachenko was getting pissed off, kept his composure, and that fight started getting closer as the fight went on. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Teofimo is also going to have to worry about. But same thing with Linares. When Lomachenko got knocked down, that's when he started putting the pressure on. So I think that he's got to be ready for more pressure going on the later rounds. You know what I mean? It's like that's how Ali used to be. Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier was the type of guy where early in the rounds 1 to 4, you can beat his ass, right? But once 5 to 6 and 7, and he was getting his momentum, you were going to be in punishment. And I think Lopez has to be ready for that. He's got to be ready for Lomachenko. If that goes to the 7th, 8th, 9th round, then Lomachenko is going to put more pressure.
Yeah, so a few things I have here, a few observations. Number one, when it comes to Lomachenko, look, I say it all the time, you get mad at me because it was early in his career. Salido gave you the blueprint. And the blueprint with Lomachenko is to get in there to where he can't throw those punches, to frustrate him, where you're holding him and everything, where he can't let his hands go. Because the reason why Lomachenko beats you down mentally is not just the amount of punches he throws, it's the accuracy. It's the accuracy in the punches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if
you're
smothering him and pulling him in to where he can't let his hands go, that's why he's frustrated. Because not because of the dirty thing, because he couldn't let his hands go, and that's where his bread and butter is. Now that
because that's what happened to Gary Russell.
Yeah. Look, Salido is.
Hold on, real quick. I just need to say this because I know y'all are gonna talk about. Y'all can talk all about me the rest of the night. This fight, though, right here, is Lomachenko's Floyd Mayweather moment. Yes, I just said that. He is going to dominate this fight in every capacity to where he's going to look like a Floyd Mayweather style fighter.
Look,
go ahead, Lucas.
My ears are bleeding from listening to Rob. Talk about Lomachenko like this. This is the guy that he said it was overhyped and there was nothing special. But now I think he finally he finally realized Loma the God, baby. Loma the God.
No, Rob is just a little intoxicated. That's what that is. He'll listen to this tomorrow and be like, "What the hell I just say?"
Yeah, the Salido fight keeps coming up. Now, Salido was a seasoned veteran, okay? Very experienced fighter. And this is what, Lomachenko's second pro fight? Stop with that shit, okay? It don't matter. Teofimo is an experienced amateur, really, just as much as he is compared to the pro. He does not have that experience. He will be outclassed in this fight.
Well, I agree with you, Lucas, but just to defend myself while we keep going back to the Salido fight.
You keep bringing that up.
He lost the fight. And once you lose to a fighter, you never recover.
I think he's already recovered, Rob. What are you talking about?
Let him fight Salido again. I bet he loses.
You know B-Hop lost like his first fight, right?
Did he fight the guy again?
I think down the line he did. But the thing about, like I said, Lomachenko is more than physical. This fight is so good that it's beyond the physical, because it's gonna come a moment where they both have to dig deep into the mental fortitude. And Lomachenko is that type of guy. He'll frustrate you. He'll first break you down systematically, then he break you down internally, then he disables your computer and your hard disk, and then he takes your soul, and then you got nothing there, and then you just this shell of yourself, and then he just basically doing carousels around you.
You go back into the Matrix.
We've and also, but we've seen Lomachenko do that already. We've seen him get up from knockdowns. We've seen him have to deal with a guy like Salido, who was 11, 12 pounds overweight, and bullying him. You know what I mean? We've seen that from Lomachenko. That's the only thing. Nothing Lomachenko. We can't say Lomachenko has to worry about the mental issue, because we've seen that. We can't say that he's going to have to worry about the physical issue, because he's dealt with a guy who weighed more than him. You understand what I'm saying? Personally speaking, yeah, exactly. My issue is, once again, I think Lomachenko, because Malachi said it, and that's what's worrying about me. Lomachenko might be out of character with the way that he's talking. If he's talking about, I'm going to knock this guy out, and he's a bum, and this and this and this, that's an issue to me. You know what I mean? Because that just means that he's going to be out of character and out of what we usually see from him, which is beautiful boxing, and he might try to become a brawler. And I tell you one thing, if he brawls with Teofimo Lopez, it's going to be a short night, and the next Tough Talk Tuesday, Rob's going to be like, I told you so, he was nothing, you know what I mean, and all that other stuff. So
I think people aren't giving Teofimo as much credit as I think he deserves for his actual boxing too. The boy can catch and shoot like none other.
Yeah, you're right.
And it was his IQ and his ring IQ that got him the knockout. Well, the knockdown versus Comey, it set it up. He knew if he dipped to his side, Comey was going to shoot off one way. It would leave him an angle to shoot off, and he caught him, and he destroyed him. And, he was chicken-legged after that. He got up, and he threw about 50 punches to end the fight. So he does that to end the fight. I like Tio to win the fight. I won't – even if he loses, though, I don't think he's going to go out there and get blown out the way that Canelo got blown out by Floyd Mayweather. Like Rob said, that's what he's looking for. I think that if he does go out there and he keeps this fight, like I think he is, if he were to lose, very, very close, it can't do nothing but, as I think you and Javi said, skyrocket him into the future.
I agree, 100%.
I'm going to see this fight a lot like, Wilder Fury won. Fury pretty much outclassed him for the most part, but he was able to get him a couple knockdowns. Like I said, I believe Teofimo has the power to really hurt Lomachenko, and I think he will. But the thing is Lomachenko's been there, done that. He'll be able to get up and keep boxing. I mean, the experience is just there for me. I really don't see Lomachenko losing this fight. I mean, maybe I am. I mean, Rob, you got the records, right? Do you have records? Because we didn't need to update this anyway. So
yeah, we're undefeated.
What am I? 1 for 1? I think Malachi did pick both Charlos. So
yeah.
Well, I got it written down. I can pull it up real quick. But I just wanted to say to Malachi, actually, go his way real quick. I'm turning. I did say he's gonna get wiped out by Lomachenko, but I said more than that. And the reason why I said more than that, because I'm gonna use what you used. I'm gonna say what you used against you. It's because of that mentality that Lomachenko is in, that he felt disrespected, is why he's knocking this guy's ass out.
Okay.
That's why it's a TKO.
You came to Malachi. I got to come back to Jules, buddy. I'm sorry. I can't let the draw go. I can't. Now look, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go as your prediction is a draw. But if you had to lean one way or other, who would you pick? Gun to your head, you got to pick the winner. Who do you pick?
Oh man,
you
gun
got
to my hand. I'm getting shot.
Come on, man. I got to put you on the spot. It's tough talk.
You know what? If I had to lean towards it, though, I'm going to be honest with you. I got to go with Lopez. You want to know why?
Sure.
I hate to say it, but I think Lomachenko's legs are going out at the weight. That's my thing. I think his legs are going out, and he still has the movement, just not as much. I don't think Lopez is going to knock him out. That I'm not going to say. I don't think so. I think actually Lomachenko has a better chin that we're giving him for. But I think that he's going to be stationary a lot more than he should be, and I think he's going to hit more than what we're seeing. So I'm actually going with Lopez. If I had to pick, I would go Lopez by split decision. I'm going to go Lopez split decision.
Okay, all right. Sherman Henson just commented picking Lomachenko.
Okay.
So, based off of the last fights that we called, Shakura, you're 1-1. Javi, you're 1-1. Malachi 2-0. Lucas 1-1, and I'm 2-0.
We'll see next week. Now, guys, I'm gonna ask you all here. I mean, it doesn't matter anyway, but Saturday night after the fights, depending, we may have a show, so you're all more than welcome to join right after.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
For sure. Yeah, because I'm gonna be on here celebrating.
Oh, hell yeah. You don't have to ask me twice. I'm going to be so hyped. I'm going to try to limit my alcohol intake so I can, be fluid and be able to have a conversation with you guys. But I'm going to be ecstatic. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to be ecstatic. I'm going to be all over the place. No matter who wins. Because at the end of the day, we try to lean to who we want to win and everything. But the bigger win here is boxing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree
more. I agree.
And the bad part is I was on Bob earlier, and, Bob, made this fight happen, yes, but is he promoting it? Does anybody know it's happening on ESPN? I don't see nothing about it.
Yeah,
I don't see nothing about it. If you follow boxing, you know. But if
they
you are
advertising
nobody.
it on football games and everything.
On ESPN, though. but not on other channels.
I agree.
You gotta
I agree with
branch
you there.
out.
It's only ESPN.
You gotta branch out. You have to see
that-
posters, you have to see commercials, and the shit's still not happening. This is an amazing fight on free TV. It should be plastered everywhere. This can get way more views than what they're even attempting to get, and it's angering. Now, this is great for boxing fans. This is great for all of us. But I think it still could hit a peak that it's not hitting.
Now, I agree with you. You want more, but this has been a hell of a promotion by ESPN in a publication.
I have to agree 100%. Yeah.
Hold on, Lucas. Hold on. In a publication that mainstreams college football, and they're taking that away, and you're now going to get that college football crowd watching this fight, which is huge. You can't ask for more than that.
Look,
Sorry, guys.
this fight being on ESPN is huge. This fight being available to the public like this is huge. Why not more broadcast it? Put it some information on Fox. Put a little trailer together. I would have loved to see a Teofimo
Fox is not going to let them run a commercial on there.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Fox will take advertisement money. This is money.
But
Money.
that's losing them money. The PBC don't even recognize Bud Crawford's existence.
Yep,
at the
Terrence
time.
Crawford.
Maybe not Fox, but maybe not Fox. Okay, you got me there.
Hold on, though.
Corey, go ahead.
Lucas is saying that it should be cross advertising on other networks, which is not under the necessary control of networks individually, but cable outlets. You can put
Yeah, very good point. Because they're the one.
for any station, any networks you want to. And if
Yeah.
you're missing a whole fan base of NFL players, fans and soccer fans, all of this that could be, at least advertised to know, hey, you can see this free, huge mega fight between these two guys on ESPN for free Saturday night. Boom, in a commercial. I mean, it just takes 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
Right.
Come on.
And here's the ultimate test, okay? I know we've all done it. You all got Facebook. You look at Facebook for something you just mentioned to your significant other, and that shit pops up. I don't know how many boxing things, have not seen one advertisement for this fight. This fight is not being promoted still to its fullest. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you.
Social media integration, for sure.
I'm just saying this could be the highest watched boxing event of the last, decade even. It could be.
It will deliver. It will deliver. That's more important.
It's on local channels, so nobody has to pay. Well, I mean, you got to pay to get ESPN, I guess, but
Yeah, but I mean, for the most part, everybody watching the sport at ESPN. So you have the big audience, you have the big show right there, the big network. I think the promotion could have done way better. I think the promotion could have been more, like you guys say, more spreadable, I guess. But they did play some fights from Lopez and from Lomachenko, which I think that start bringing. They have some type of episodes
all week.
Tweets. So they are doing it. Just like I think it could get better because this fight is gonna deliver not only the main fight but the undercards. And I just heard too that they're not only just gonna make the main fights available on ESPN, but also the whole card. So you gotta
right.
boxing like it used to be. That's how you bring the fans back. Like, okay, you give them good fights on free TV, and they're gonna remember the name. Ooh, who's this kid? I want to see him again. Then they start. That's how you bring the fans back to the sport.
Yeah.
Hey, Malachi, they canceled Florida State primetime football game for the whole card. That's big.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I went to piggyback off of that. I just went to the schedule to look. The game they got leading up into that is Florida versus LSU. That's going to help the ratings as well because the SEC fans, they're huge. The only problem I see that night is that it's going up against Alabama and Georgia, which, if you follow college football, that's the biggest game so far this year. That's the
biggest game in the country, especially here where I'm at. But I already talked to a lot of people. They're going to have multiple screens queued up, especially at my favorite local spot. I can't mention the name because of copyrights, but they're going to have it up on the big screen. Guys, do you mind if I throw just since we're on this, I want one more topic. Can I just get one rapid fire topic?
Well, one more second. I mean, we still got a tweet of the week. Clarence says Teofimo will shock everyone. Sherman Henson champions rise to the occasion. And again, earlier he picked Lomachenko. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth. I think there's kind of a split decision, as you can tell, with just looking at our picks. I mean, we're kind of half and half here. So.
All right, let's go to tweet of the week. I'm sorry, let's cue that up.
All right, Sakura, tweet of the week.
Sure, we got let's see, we got Claressa Shields, T-Rex, and she tweeted, "The talks with Layla Ali ended. She knows she can't do nothing with the young, hungry, strong, very skilled lion. Her resume don't compare to mine, period." So that's a lot to be said, Claressa. But
A lot of truth.
I mean, my big thing with that is just, well, they must have really had some negotiations going, despite the fact that everybody was saying, nah, this isn't something that's going to ever happen. So we learned just from that one tweet that they did actually have some type of negotiation going on with Layla Ali, other than that's, just rumored. I mean, Layla, I think she made the right decision. I mean, she's an entrepreneur. She has other means of making money, and there's no sense in her taking chances at her age to come back and prove anything to a younger fighter from a whole nother decade of athletes. Although I do believe that would have caused a ripple effect in women's boxing that they actually do need to garner some attention.
Not only
she's
do
also
I
been out of the ring for like.
Go ahead, Joe.
No, I'm sorry. I'm saying she's also been out of the ring for like 10 years. Like, unless you got George Foreman power, I don't expect you to be able to perform. You know what I mean? 10 years, she's got kids. It's been a long time.
Not only.
Which tells me, go ahead, Luke.
I believe not only are negotiations going, but they're ongoing. This tweet is basically attacking the ego, trying to say, you come on out of retirement. This is still being talked. Don't get it wrong. Fighters are proud people. You can't attack the ego. They say, I'm going to come for you.
Yeah, the challenge.
And I believe that Claressa is salty because the negotiations were ongoing, and Claressa is more salty about it because, let's face it, there's more Layla Ali fans out there than there are Claressa Shields.
This eats Claressa up. A lot of people may not want to believe this, but Claressa is not getting the due that she's owed. She's not becoming the celebrity that she deserves to be. Now, a lot of this is because she needs to beat this other celebrity. She needs that, that magnificent moment that she's not getting, and I think Ali is it for her, and she's trying desperately, and I don't know if she's going to get it. I don't.
Can we all ask ourselves why Layla Ali was such a celebrity? Let's all be realistic on why Layla Ali was the biggest name in boxing. Let's all say it together now, because her father was the greatest. Exactly, is a icon. Yeah. Not saying that winning fights doesn't help.
I mean, it's true.
But that's the reason why. If Claressa was, Claressa Tyson, you know what I mean? It probably would have been a different story for her.
Oh yeah.
Well, hold on.
Layla Ali was a very beautiful woman, and
I'm not saying that. No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that she wasn't beautiful. I'm not saying that she didn't win championships. But we all know that if you have a name like an Ali, okay, to back you up as your marketing tool, that's your father, you are going to get views no matter what. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that her winning and her looks didn't help. But Layla Ali, okay, having that name was definitely a huge. It was a nice cushion to have to be a superstar in boxing.
Definitely,
I agree. And I think that the truth, in my opinion, Claressa Shields' record right now, her resume is better than Layla Ali's ever was, because Layla beat a lot of great champions when they were well past their prime. When she beat up Christy Martin. That was, come on, man. I was like, just stop the fight. This old lady can't, I thought, no disrespect to her. I was like, what, they go get her out of the retirement home and get her out here?
Well, ironically, Malachi, that's the situation Claressa finds herself in. Layla Ali fought Christy Martin because Christy Martin was a superstar. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why they made that fight. Clarissa is in the same position. And Layla Ali's probably like, you know what? I remember when I was that young girl who wanted a big money fight, and I beat the hell out of some girl who was retired for how many years. So that might be it.
Lucas, use your disclaimer real quick.
Layla put homegirl, the Gwoat's name in her mouth first on ESPN. And then wanted to play the victim, when Clarissa does what Clarissa always does, is snap back with facts. Telling like her fact was your resume was garbage and you beat a bunch of old people. You know what I mean? And Layla didn't like that because, you know, she's a very ego-driven person, which most fighters are. Yeah. And so she snapped back. Now, I have heard that an offer was made of $5 million to Layla, and it was crickets. So I don't know how, you know, it came from a good source. So I kind of believe it, but I can't say that's for sure. But I can see it.
Yeah, so Lucas, you might have to say your disclaimer.
And
so,
Rob, don't get me sued. That's what I'm gonna say.
So Clarissa, fight a man. Fight a man then.
Oh God!
If you don't have the fight,
oh my God!
You don't have. Hey,
oh my
y'all
God!
Want to talk about? No, hold on. Y'all want to talk about this all the time? Why she's not getting respect? Why she's not getting this? Why she's not getting that? You need to go out there and do something different. Because what you're doing.
Rob's onto something. Hang on, Rob's onto something.
Really?
Listen, wait.
No.
Wait, hear me out. Okay, now we already talked about how Mayweather fighting Jake Paul is garbage. Now Clarissa fighting Jake Paul, that's smart. That's smart.
Okay. Now that you
that's
come
smart.
from that angle, yes.
That's smart. Malachi, you know that's smart, right? I mean, that's what she needs to do. How's her manager not thinking that?
Yeah, that's brilliant. She would beat the shit out of Jake Paul.
Hey, Clarissa, hire me. We got this. I got you.
No, I got you.
Rob,
I came up with the idea. What are you doing?
What you say, Jules?
I said, Rob, we know you want Thurman versus Shields. That's your problem. You want Keith Thurman, Clarissa Shields on PBC. You know what I mean?
No,
that's what you want.
I wouldn't call out Keith Thurman, but now Tank, let's see that fight. Her versus Tank.
Oh God.
Look, we all don't want Jake Paul in the picture anymore, right? Like, we're all kind of sick of this YouTube crap. So let's let Clarissa just beat the crap out of him. He'll vanish. She gets the celebrity she deserves. Everybody goes and continues life as normal.
I like that idea.
So, Lucas, do you want to?
You would never ever recommend that a male fighter find somebody like, you know.
Yes, I would.
Clarissa can handle her own. Clarissa can handle it.
Hold on. Y'all want to talk about equal pay? Give us equal pay. Gender
no, you're gonna give me.
Oh my God. All this and that. Throw her in there with a man.
I don't want to see her fight a professional male boxer, but something like Lucas is saying, yes, absolutely.
But Jake's not a professional, exactly.
Lucas, you remember I wrote that article and I gave you guys a sufficient man, the one that was transitioned to a female fighter, and I said that she could beat him. You know, well,
Alan Fox.
Yeah.
All right.
I gave that name up.
Let's go into the quick brief eye candy of the week.
Oh yeah, Sakura, you got this one.
Oh, that's right. It's my turn again. Yes. Run that beautiful footage, Lucas. Okay. So, what we have is some heavyweight action. And what better time to bring up someone as golden toned and lovely and muscle bound as Anthony Joshua, being that, you know, Top Rank is on the hot trail to try to create the Fury versus Anthony Joshua fight. I mean, all we gotta do is just look at how tall he is, 6'6", and weight around 237, mostly muscles, lady. And also, he's British, so you get to have the nice, sexy accent that we all love from our men folks, ladies. And on top of that, he got some belts. Yes, we're talking about a unified champion here. So I think what needs to happen is all the ladies need to go on and they need to go and click on Anthony Joshua, and they can see even more gorgeous pics with videos too, ladies, of him working out and swimming and at the beach and at the car talking to Fury. I don't know how that was set up, but I mean, you got plenty of opportunities to see plenty more eye candy on his IG page, and I'm just here for it.
All right, eye candy of the week. How long have I been off this show?
You've been on for a while. We got some new segments.
You know what?
When did Tough Talk turn into Playgirl? I was like, what? Golden Brown month? I was like, wait.
Look, Joel, I fought this one. I did. I was like, this seems kind of weird, but Sakura had one, and Dalia Duran's like, where's my eye candy of the week, and asking for it. So I was like, I guess we're going to keep it. I don't know.
Damn,
They
all
love
right,
it.
okay.
They love it, baby.
Wait a minute, though. It's no problem when it's Rob's turn for eye candy because we switch weeks. So every time he wants to show female, femininity and it's eye candy, it's fine. It's only
Hey, it's not fine either. I mean, it feels like constantly like a creepy move, no matter what I do.
Listen, this show is not good for my celibacy. I might have to not be on here anymore. Y'all are messing me up. I can't end the week. What the hell did I get myself into?
Hey,
God.
post your eye candy from last week for Jules so he can see, what.
No, I don't need the pleasures of the flesh. I just came in for boxing. I didn't. Lord have mercy.
Rob, rapid fire, real quick.
I just got a question. Then this just kind of came up, but this is a little bit more interesting to me. So we've got the Errol Spence Danny Garcia fight happening in Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
December.
Now they're talking December. Now they're talking about opening up more windows for fans to come in now. Finally. What are your guys' take on this whole, will it work? Because they're allowing a certain percentage. And now I'm even hearing for the LSU Florida game that they were talking about boycotting to make it at full capacity. So do you think that we will be able to see a full packed house of boxing by the end of this year?
Hey, if it's one place to do it, it would be there.
Yeah, that place is ginormous. I mean, I was even for it when I went inside that stadium. I'm telling you, there's plenty of room to spread people out, but at the same time, I'm here in Florida, so it's nothing that shocks me now. We just went to 100% capacity for event venues, guys. So if it happens here, Texas is sure to follow. So I'm sure that is something that if there's a lot of money to be made, they're going to be willing to do it.
Look, I'm missing my live action boxing. Stuff needs to open back up here in Illinois and Indiana and the surrounding area. I'm losing it. I need to record some fights. I need to go see some people getting punched live. I can't do it anymore. I need my boxing therapy and I'm not getting it. So they need to open stuff back up. Myself, I'm actually currently on quarantine just because I was exposed. I'm not even sure I have anything yet. I got to get checked as of Thursday. So I'm on lockdown all over again, man. It sucks. It does. I'm ready for stuff to open back up, but, I understand people being careful.
On one hand, Lucas, you were like, we need to open up things all the way. But I happen to be on quarantine right now.
Hey, it's forced quarantine. I would go to work, but, I don't want to kill nobody either. So, it's like, what do I do?
Lucas sounds like President Trump right now. I got it, bro. I'm cured. I can speak in public again.
I'll let you know if I got it, but I think I'm good. I don't know.
All right. I also think that Vegas is a good spot.
Clarence during eye candy said, Emilio Santana, where you at, bro? And then he said, I wanted Wilder vs. Fury 3 next summer in MetLife Stadium where the Giants play.
Yeah, and
say nothing about who, and I show as much I can we have on Boxing Playhouse. So I got so many cookie candy crumbles I can pull out now. Good.
Yeah, and look at Vegas. Vegas has that brand new stadium over there, that brand new spanking stadium that's built for it. It has a whole ring of TVs on there. I can see a ring in there right now.
And they got to pay for it, so I'm sure something big's going to happen there here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
a nice stadium, though. You're right.
That's all I had. Malachi, Hobby, anything left in the tank for y'all?
Like the fight for December? Yeah, I mean, I'm with it. You guys know how I feel. I think we already seen that the lockdowns it can only help so much. Eventually, life have to go on. They should open up. If it's something that is gonna be safe and is gonna be able to spread people and hold people in a responsible way, why not? We need live sports. We need the atmosphere. At the end of the day, if people can go and do different things in public and get together, live sports should also be available to be able to get it back to at least some way somehow type of normal. Now, man, a lot of things can happen from here to December, right? Because with the whole thing going on, next thing you know, boom, they shut everything down. No fights, no nothing, and hopefully, what I'm saying doesn't manifest in real life, but. I'm just
don't put that out there.
looking forward to Saturday. I'm just looking to Saturday, the young lion against the God. You know what I'm saying? So that's right now. That's all I can think about right now.
Javi, that is not alpha male talk, bro. That is not alpha male talk. Nothing shutting down. Boxing. That's not the Javi I know on Twitter. Nothing shutting down. We're going to get a good fight this Saturday, and we're going to get a good fight in December with Spence and Garcia. I can't wait.
That's right.
Absolutely. Guys, this has been fun.
He wanted Devin Haney if he gets through this fight. So.
That's true. I mean, he's moving on already. I love it. I love how he's already been like Devin Haney. And Devin Haney, to me, is a bigger threat. We didn't get into that. But I'm sure if he comes out victorious, we will talk about that on possibly the after show, should it happen. As long as I'm not too inebriated to work the show. I mean, that would happen. But.
Well, if Tia wins, should he also fight Devin Haney?
Another time.
That's another show.
Let's hold that. All right, guys. It's been fun. I wanted to move along and say look forward to our next show because coming up, we got to preview Leo Santa Cruz, Gervonta Davis. Excellent. So for always, tonight's been real for your host, Robert Alexander, Lucas Bigger, Shakira A, Javier, Malachi, and Jules. And from all the team members at the Heavy Bag Boxing, we love you.